Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. This is Stephanie Nishio with the California Association of Food Banks. We are super excited to be talking with you on the first day of the federal fiscal year. We anticipate that this will be a pretty quick webinar. We just want to give you just kind of a general overview of what we do, and if anybody has any questions, we're happy to address those as well. We're not going to be going in depth on like scope of work reporting or invoicing today, but we're happy to do that at a later date if there's interest. So before I get started, I should mention that we are recording. So keep that in mind if you have a question that you want to ask, although we'll get to that next. And then the other thing is we will, like I mentioned, we're recording the webinar and we'll go ahead and post it on our website as well when we're done. But if you have a question, in your control panel on the right, there's a section where you can submit your questions. So at any point, go ahead and do that, and then at the end, we'll address them. So there's that. But before we get started, I'll just tell you what we're going to talk about. We're just going to talk really quickly about what we here at CAFB do. We'll give you a quick update on the contract. You'll see the calendar, and we'll take questions. So just really quickly, we thought we would tell you who we are and give you our contact information in case you have any questions for us, and we'll go in order. So Emma, you can go first.
Hi, this is Emma. I am the administrative assistant for the program team. So I work with Stephanie and Josh, Paul, Edith. I handle administrative things. If there's any questions about anything, you can always come to me if you don't know who directly to reach out to. But I am here for any and all types of support. So it's nice to meet everyone, and I look forward to working with you.
Hi, this is Josh Hubler. I'm a contract analyst. I assist agencies with developing their budgets and with filling out their invoicing and time tracking documents, helping them make sure that they're only reporting costs that are allowable, and I do make some effort to try and maximize reimbursements for folks. And I manage the loaned equipment program that hopefully some of you will be interested in, where we lend equipment to the agencies or subcontractors for the purpose of advancing their CalFresh Outreach goals, as you are not allowed to buy equipment like computers or scanners or things of that nature under the rules of the contract. And my contact information is up there on the slide.
This is Paul Moss, and that was a pretty thorough explanation of what Josh and I do. To not be too specifically, basically go ahead and make sure that everyone's costs that they're including are allowable, make sure that any budget-related items are addressed, do some budget modifications, work with agencies to make sure that all of the costs that they are incurring while conducting the activities within their scope of work are reimbursed.
This is Stephanie. Edith is out of the office today, so I'll be introducing both of us. We both work on the program side and are here to provide any sort of technical assistance or training that you have, or training needs that you have. We also are really interested in your program reports and work a lot with the state to lift up things that are working well and let the state know where we could use their support in making things better. In general, our team works with the state to try to translate their rules and regulations into ones that make more sense for nonprofits and to streamline what they're asking for, so that you're not getting 1,000 little requests all the time, and we can just kind of put things in one place, we hope, and make them more digestible when possible. And so if you ever have any questions or about how the process works, or you have suggestions for the state, we're more than happy to send those up or to talk to you about how we work with the state. So that's just a little bit about what we do. Oops, sorry, that's the wrong slide, or the wrong thing. Sorry about that. Oh, and that is also the wrong thing. Sorry. All right. So we're just going to move on really quickly to what we do. We talked a little bit about what we individually do, but Paul's going to talk more specifically about what they do on the fiscal end.
Hi, everybody. So, yeah, we gave you a brief introduction of what we do and a little more specifics here from the fiscal end. Josh and I are responsible for making sure that you're accurately reporting your costs to us, all the costs associated with your work on the activities within your approved scope of work for this contract. One of the main ways we do that is by monitoring the time and effort that you're spending on your activities. We do that by providing you each quarter with some form of time tracking log that you can use to record all the hours that the employees within your budgets are spending on their outreach activities. Those come in two forms. There's a time log form for people who have employees who work more sporadically on the contract, maybe 20% of their time one month of the quarter, 10% of their time another month of the quarter. And then we also have time study forms, which take a sample month of each quarter, and those are useful for folks who are spending a regular amount of time, for example, 20% each month of the quarter, working on the activities in their scope of work. Something else that we do is we initiate the quarterly invoicing process. This is directly linked to those time and effort forms. Josh or I will send you an invoicing guide each quarter once the quarter concludes that you'll use to compile and report all of your costs to us that you incurred during the previous quarter. Again, we do that quarterly. We initiate that process. We send you an email. We get the whole process started. You'll receive the invoicing guide, Excel files from us, and there's really nothing that you need to do there other than wait to receive the file and then fill it out once you receive it. We also work, this is something that's ongoing with us. Each quarter we look at the costs that you're reporting to us. We compare them to your budget. We see how you're progressing. For example, if you're spending to your budget, if it looks like you might go over your budget, or if you're spending under your budget. We look at the costs that you've included each quarter to make sure that they have been budgeted and they are allowable. And then we process those reports and submit them to the state, who will then pay us the amount that you've requested for reimbursement. We also, as Josh mentioned, have an equipment loan program. We have a number of pieces of equipment, computer equipment, along with printers and scanners at our office that are available for agencies who are participating in the contract to borrow from us. And these bits of equipment are for your outreach staff to take into the field, conduct the activities within your scope of work, and we provide these because, as Josh mentioned, the contract will not allow you to purchase these items. You can purchase them with your own funds, of course, but you cannot be reimbursed for those. So we have some. And please contact Stephanie, Josh, or me about that if you're interested in buying some of that. Borrowing, some of that equipment from us. We have it, it's free of charge, of course, and we have laptops, printers, scanners, and some tablets that we're just beginning to put into the field for use also. So that's about it for me.
All right, this is Stephanie again. And then on the program side, I mentioned earlier that we're available for if you have any technical assistance needs or training, and that includes stuff like if you have eligibility questions, or if you have staff and you want like a little orientation, we're happy to do that. If you're having trouble working with your county, we can provide some TA there. kind of whatever you need to support your program, we're happy to work with you on. So in addition, one of the things I forgot to put on this list was program and scope of work reports, but we get those, and in those we get one of your success stories or a promising practice, but you don't have to wait until you're reporting to share those with us. We love to hear what's going well all the time. You know, it's really great to hear what's working in your communities and be able to share those with other folks. And one of the ways that we do that is through a newsy email that you may have just gotten the other day that Emma puts out. She does a really great job on it, and if you have anyone or anything that you'd like to share in it, or anybody you would like to nominate as a superstar for us to profile, we would really love that. Some ways that you can plug in with us are through the mentorship project. There are opportunities to be a mentor or to be a mentee. We have a peer-to-peer meeting. It's typically in February or March that we plan around the California Food Policy Advocates CalFresh Forum, and you are welcome to be on the planning committee for that as well as to attend. We have a residential training in the summer this year. It's usually either in August or September, and it's a 2.5-day training on CalFresh that we partner with the Benchmark Institute to host. And then we also do site visits where we go out and kind of talk to you about how things are going, and if you have an event or something happening, we love to see those, and just to get a better perspective on what you do and what it looks like. And so please feel free to reach out to Edith or me or Emma if you have any questions, or if there's anything you'd like to share or any of that, because our job is really to help you have a successful program. And we can kind of guess what's happening from your reports, but it's way better. We learn a lot more when we hear from you. So please don't be shy. And then next, I'll turn it over to Paul to talk a little bit about the contract.
Hi, so the contract starts today. That's why we're holding this webinar here today. But unfortunately, CDSS hasn't issued their contract to us yet, and therefore we have not sent out any MOUs to you or really any information regarding the new contract year. That's why we're here today, to kind of reassure you that it is going forward. We are continuing as if there is no hitch. We expect to receive a contract from CDSS any day now. They're still processing it. They have given us no indication that there's a problem with it. It's just taking a while for them to get it executed. So we're going forward as if we have a contract in place. There's no reason to think that we won't. And as soon as we receive the information from the state, a contract from the state, we will send your MOUs out to you along with the approved versions of your budget. And the contract will backdate to October 1st. That's a very important point, meaning that all work that's done starting today will be eligible for reimbursement. There will be no gap there or any kind of problem getting those costs recovered because the contract isn't executed yet. Just to kind of reassure you there a bit. So there's a couple of things on the fiscal side this year. For those of you who have been doing this for a while, you know that you've been assigned somebody to manage the fiscal end of your contract here at our agency. That was either me or Josh. Due to shifting contract loads, we'll probably be transferring some agencies around this year. So if you're currently working with me, you may be working with Josh this year instead, but we'll definitely notify you of that change, who your new contract manager will be in the very near future, possibly today. Another thing, we're looking at the invoicing guide. Again, most of you who have been doing this contract for a while are familiar with the invoicing guide format. We've been using it for years now, and we like it, and we think it's pretty thorough, but we're always looking for ways to improve it. So there may be some changes this year, nothing too substantial, And we'll definitely either hold another webinar or send you some very detailed information about those changes before you need to submit your first quarter invoicing guide.
On the program end, sorry, Paul, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No problem.
Did you have more to add?
No, I don't. I'm done. Thanks.
On the program end, just a reminder that the program deliverables are different than they were in federal fiscal year 2018. The state added a partnerships portion in addition to the regular applications submitted and approved and STAR 7s and research. So revisit the scope of work that you sent in when you send in all of your materials for the new contract. And then also the state is really interested and will be wanting you to track the number of households that you're assisting who have people who are over 60 or over working and or include minors. So make sure you're tracking that. They haven't let us know what the final like what their reporting documents are going to look like yet. So I don't have anything that I can show you that's final, but I anticipate that they'll be asking for these things. And then just lastly on program, the things that we are anticipating are going to be big this year are SSI cash out, which we anticipate will happen next summer, and then ABOD re-implementation. Currently, the ABOD time limit is being re-implemented in San Francisco, Santa Clara, and San Mateo counties, but we anticipate that in September 2019, that's going to expand to more counties. We don't know for sure yet which counties those are, but we anticipate that we'll be working with you several of you in the affected counties to ramp up. So just a heads up that those are the things that are on the horizon. SSI cash out will happen in every county, and you'll be hearing more from us as that gets closer. And also just a reminder that if you have any questions, you can go ahead and put them in your questions box as we're getting close to the end. So this is the calendar. It's teeny tiny print. If you go to your control panel on the right, there's a handout section, and you can download it there. I'll also send it out in an email. It just tells you what the due dates are in terms for reports and invoices, and then also which months are your time setting months. And if you have any questions on this, feel free to contact Paul or me. Just so you know, the things that are coming up this month are as soon as we get our contract, as Paul mentioned, we'll be sending out the MOUs for signature. So we want those back as soon as possible. Your end of year reports are due on the 10th for the program reports, and your fourth quarter invoices are due on October 12th. So mostly this month we are wrapping up the previous fiscal year. And then that is all we have in terms of content. So if anybody it doesn't look like any questions have been submitted, but we can wait a couple minutes to see if anybody is typing. And while we're doing that, we'll go ahead and put up our contact info just so you have it. Like I said, though, we will be posting this to our website, and it's being recorded, so it'll all be up there. In the meantime, I would really encourage you, if you do need or are interested in borrowing a laptop or tablet, to reach out to Josh. He can tell you more about our loan program and get you connected if you're interested. So it doesn't look like there are any questions coming in. Does anybody have anything they wanted to add before we end?
Sure, this is Paul. I just want to reiterate, contact us at any time. I realize a lot of people on this webinar have been doing this for a while. They're very familiar with Josh, myself, Stephanie, and Emma now that she's been collecting signatures on invoicing documents and time tracking documents. But please never hesitate to contact us. Any question at all, we're happy to answer.
I totally second that. Thank you. All right, so with that, thanks for joining us. We're really looking forward to working with you in the new contract. And as Paul mentioned, feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Thanks, everybody.